did you have any trouble, like in that sense, kind of like taking over for your dad? And there's two, I guess that goes two different ways. So I'll kind of pitch it each way. One way that I've seen is like customers saying, well, where's your dad? Like he was the one that cleaned my windows. And so I want him. Yeah, like how much of the clientele did you have to like manage some pushback on? And then same thing with employees, because you already kind of mentioned it, but when you take over, is there animosity that like, oh, you just have that job because you're his son and like you didn't earn it, right? Like you kind of have to fight that animosity. How was it in both the client side and the employee side trying to like take things over?
So I would say it was tougher on the client side because, like you said, they were so used to my father being there.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did was I had the mindset like I need to give them a level of service above my father. That way, there is nothing for them to nitpick, nothing for them to complain about. And I'm a smart ass, I'll say it. So I had one customer. I ring the doorbell. I'm like 3 minutes late. He goes, "You're late." I go, "I'm sorry." So I learned a big lesson there. If I'm a couple minutes late, even if it's 2 or 3, to say I'm sorry, I'm late. But anyways, he goes, "Do you need to come inside?" I'm like, "Well, unless you can tell me how to do the inside from the outside." I said, "I'd be more than happy to stay outside." He goes, "All right, well, come in, do what you got to do." Then at the end, he wanted to have a beer with me and be my friend. I'm like, "Dude, I got another house to go to." Like, we could have talked.
I can only have 2.
Yeah, if this was the last one, yeah, I have a couple beers with you. But, it's like, we had 3 hours to talk and you didn't say a word. And now it's like, so it was harder with the customers, especially longer term customers. But once they saw that I provided that level of service that matched my father or even went above, then they became very, very comfortable. And even now, like I still handle a lot of the older customers, but some of them I will give to one of my top guy, and they trust that I'm sending the right person there. So I've kind of gained that trust with the customer where they believe who I'm sending there is somebody that I would have in my house.
And did you have the vision, I'm guessing you did, of, not just a service level that you needed to be at least a little bit above your dad if you could be, but taking the whole business to the next level where you're starting to grow the business?
Oh yeah, I always had this vision. Like that's one thing I think, like being a business owner, you kind of have to have that vision before anybody else can see it. You have to see it. Mm-hmm. And like I'm gonna have 50 plus employees at some point, and I see where I'm going. And also for my father and myself to both draw income from the business, because let's be real, I do not live in a cheap state here. So it's not like running 4 to 6 guys really works. So, I mean, does it work? Yes, but it's very tight. So I almost have to be at about 10 people in the field just to kind of make it all work.